Hi everyone, my name's Louise and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I run the Life with Scoliosis blog where I blog about my life and experiences of living with scoliosis. For those of you that don't know, scoliosis is a sideways curvature of the spine. In my case, it was severe and I had to undergo corrective spinal fusion surgery about 11 years ago now to fuse and straighten my spine. So I now live my life with a fused spine. I have 2 titanium rods and about 23 screws holding it all in place. I wanted to make a video all about scoliosis pain and the ways that I cope with my pain, as it's a topic that I get asked about quite frequently. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, do I get pain with my scoliosis? The answer for me is yes. Obviously this will vary for everybody with scoliosis, as every case is completely different. Some people will suffer with pain, others may not. In my case, I started to get pain in my early 20s, which was before I had my surgery. I was diagnosed when I was 14 and there was quite a few years where I didn't really have any pain whatsoever. Maybe I was lucky. I do get pain now, but it is a lot different to the pain I had in my early 20s. Pre-surgery, the pain that I had was very much caused by tight muscles and muscle spasms around the curve. I did have massages, acupuncture, physio, all sorts of things, but the spasms would always return. Post-surgery now, though I don't tend to get back spasms unless I've done something to aggravate my back. Mostly I get lower backache most days, especially if I'm in one position for a long period of time. If I'm moving around and walking, I don't get a lot of pain at all, unless I've been walking around for a considerable amount of time. But yeah, sitting or standing for any length of time in one position causes me quite a lot of lower back pain. Most days it's manageable and I don't need painkillers, which I do feel very lucky about. Sometimes I'll do something that will trigger my back pain off and it'll be bad for a couple of days. But then after a few days, it tends to feel better. If I lie down or sit down, then it's usually relieved after a while. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways that I manage my scoliosis pain. So for me, one of the main ways that I try to keep my scoliosis pain at bay is to exercise and keep myself as strong and as physically fit as possible. I try to exercise most days. I do a lot of strength training exercises, such as Pilates and body weight exercises focusing on the glutes and the core to try and strengthen the muscles that support the spine. For me, I find that the more active I am, the less pain I have. It might be different for other people, but that's my situation. If I'm inactive, I get a lot more pain, and I feel like the stronger I am, the less pain that I get. Exercise for me is a massive part of my life and my routine. I pretty much do something every day. One thing that I've started to do over the last 6 months is Pilates. I've always been interested in Pilates and exercises like Pilates because I knew that they were good for my back, but in the past I've struggled to find a class that I can relate to, because obviously having a spinal fusion, some of the exercises can be quite difficult, and obviously you need to adapt when you go to a general class at the gym. Sometimes I've felt quite isolated in that class because I can't do all of the moves. So one thing that I started doing about 6 months ago is I found a class online called Build and Breathe Pilates, and they focus on Pilates classes for people with scoliosis and spinal fusions. What I've done for this video is teamed up with Emily, who runs the classes at Build and Breathe, and she can give you some more information on why Pilates is beneficial for people with scoliosis.
I'm Emily, I'm the founder of Build and Breathe, and I am Louise's Scoli-friendly Pilates teacher. So I myself am fused, and so what we teach in class is a crunch and twist free style of Pilates that's all about building core strength and focusing as well on pain management, which, as all of you will know, is really, really important when we have scoliosis or a spinal fusion as well. So the lovely Louise has asked me to come and just chat to you a little bit about the benefits of Pilates and about self-managing your condition, which I think isn't spoken about enough. So if we look at self-management as a topic, I think that quite often, especially with spinal fusion, we're almost sold the surgery as like a fix, and it's really, really tricky when you come out of your recovery or you're signed off by the hospital to go home, and obviously you've been through this huge life-changing event and you don't feel fixed because you're knackered. It's this huge thing you've been through, and that's where it's very much placed in our hands to be able to do something about it. And I think that that isn't explained as much as it could be. So hopefully I can help here. Now, Pilates has been a fantastic tool for myself alongside strength training, low impact cardio as well to keep my body nice and healthy. Pilates will always be my favourite because of the focus on building a strong core, which you can imagine after the surgery, it's quite invasive for your poor little spine. There's lots of different muscles involved to get through and place the metalwork. And I think where we feel quite weak and fatigued afterwards, we perhaps don't place as much importance as we could do on almost building yourself a brace to support your spine by building those muscles all around your torso. So Pilates is fantastic for that, and especially the style that we teach is very much fusion friendly. So for example, rather than doing lots of sit-ups to work on your abs, we might do a plank, which has loads of other benefits actually in terms of holding your hips still, your shoulders stable. It's more of a full body session rather than just trying to force our body into these crunches that they're not going to work. But the other area of Pilates which I love, which again focuses on self-management, is looking at pain, relaxation and mindfulness, which I know can be a little bit of a buzzword, and I find it quite off-putting to think about wishy-washy mindfulness. But if you think about your pain and we think about obviously the physical impact of it that we can feel day to day, but also the emotions that come with that physical pain. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of frustration, upset, can bring up all sorts of emotions from back when you had your surgery or when you were first diagnosed. And so I think that connecting with your body and doing exercises like breathing, stress relief exercises, thinking about connecting with your body, how do the moves feel, is just as important as doing the strength work itself. So that kind of combination for self-management of getting strong, learning about your body and connecting the emotional and the physical impacts that scoliosis has on us is really, really important. So whether Pilates is the thing that does it for you, or I know Louise loves her running, so that's a great way again to connect emotionally and physically, obviously as long as you are stretching afterwards, protecting that lower back. Even having a boogie around the house, like any movement is fantastic. So my best advice is to find something that you love and you enjoy. As long as you're moving in some aspect, then it's going to help your back massively. I'm always here if anybody has any questions about the physical or the emotional side of things. Just drop me or Louise a note, and I hope that's helpful.
Obviously, any exercises that you do for your scoliosis, you should always check with your doctor. But yeah, I really wanted to recommend Emily and Build Breathe Pilates because It's helped me a lot over the last 6 months or so, and I have really noticed a difference. When I was first diagnosed with scoliosis, I worried about exercising, and I didn't exercise for quite some time because I was worried about damaging my back, causing more pain. But for me, exercise really is the best way to keep your muscles strong, support your spine, and help to reduce pain over time. Another way that I manage my scoliosis pain is to use heat. Heat for me is probably one of the most effective ways to help relieve my scoliosis pain. I regularly use hot water bottles or a heated pad around the bottom of my back. I really enjoy having a nice hot bubble bath or sitting in like a heated jacuzzi or something like that when I can get to a spa. But just the heat on my back feels really nice. Sometimes I use deep heat when I've got particularly sore muscles. On a day-to-day basis, I find that I don't need to use heat all the time. It's just if I've done something, if I've been on my feet all day, for example, and my back's aching, then a nice hot bath can really help. Or if sometimes I will get muscle spasms. I tend to get them, if I do get them, around my shoulder blade, and when they're playing up, then I'll put some deep heat on them, or a heat pad or a hot water bottle. I've got like a microwavable heat pad that you can put in the microwave, and then it just wraps around you. You can wrap it around your shoulder, wrap it around your lower back, and I find that those types of things are quite effective. They might not work for you, they don't work for everybody, but I find that heat really does help me when I'm having a sore back day. The third thing that helps me to manage my scoliosis pain is memory foam. I think it's one of the best things ever. It really helps me a lot. I have a memory foam mattress, a memory foam topper on top of the mattress as well. I have memory foam pillows, memory foam cushions, and I just think memory foam is great, and it really does help take the pressure off my back and reduce back pain. I really do notice a difference, especially if I sleep in a bed that isn't memory foam. I will definitely notice the difference. I get quite a lot of pain compared to if I don't sleep in a bed that is a memory foam mattress. So I tend to find when I go on holiday and things like that, if the bed isn't memory foam, I'll know about it. So I'd say, my recommendation, if you don't have a memory foam mattress and you have scoliosis or, bad back pain, I thoroughly recommend getting a memory foam topper or mattress for the bed. And again, memory foam cushions and pillows, I put one behind me when I'm sat in the car, I put one behind me when I'm sat at my desk at work, or just on the sofa. And I find it very comfortable, and it definitely helps me with my pain. The fourth tip that I would say to help with scoliosis pain is, for me, is to keep moving as much as possible. If I'm in one position for any length of time, whether that's standing or sitting, I get quite a lot of lower back pain, and it can be quite bad. Whereas if I try to move around as much as possible, it does limit the back pain that I get. So for example, I have a desk job and I'm sat down 8 hours a day. This is really bad for my back, and if I don't get up at regular intervals, I do get a lot of lower back pain. So I really try regularly throughout the day to get up from my chair, to walk around. I've got a stand-up desk as well, and I really recommend those if you have scoliosis and you have a desk job. Stand-up desk is brilliant because it means you can move your position throughout the day. So you can stand up for a bit, you can sit down for a bit, and that is perfect for me because it means I'm not in the same position for any length of time. So that's one way that I try to help my pain. And then at lunchtime I'll go for a walk as well to break up the day, so that I'm not just sat down for the entire day. And it's the same when I'm not at work as well. I have to keep moving as much as I can. and vary the positions that I'm in to help reduce my back pain. Another way that I help to manage my scoliosis pain is regular stretching. So it kind of fits in with the Pilates side of things, because Pilates does involve stretches as well, but I try to stretch as much as I can. And again, you know, especially with me working from home as well, you know, and sitting down a lot, you know, I do get quite tight muscles anyway in my back and my neck, so having a stretch at the end of the day can really help. Another tip would be to go and see a physiotherapist. So if you have scoliosis, it's a chronic condition, which means you've got it for life. So physiotherapy can help manage it long term. They can provide exercises to help keep your back and core strong, and stretches as well if you're suffering with any particular pain. Like myself, I do get numbness in one of my legs, which is a bit of sciatica, so I'm currently having physiotherapy for that. And you know, he's given me certain stretches to do to help release the nerve and that sort of thing. So stretching is very important, especially with people that have scoliosis, just to keep everything mobile, keep everything moving, and it can definitely help with relieving pain and discomfort. But the important thing is knowing what stretches to do and, you know, which ones you need to do, and that's why a physiotherapist can really help. I have done in the past as well massage, but I don't really like people touching my back. I think it's just a personal thing because of my scoliosis. I just don't like it, but I know that massage can also help. I have had it done in the past, before I had my surgery. If you have lots of muscle spasms in your back as a result of scoliosis, then massage from somebody that knows what they're doing, so somebody that knows about scoliosis and is specialised in scoliosis, that can really be beneficial. Another thing I have as well is I have some of those spiky massage balls, which you can get on Amazon, and I'll roll those across my back and across my shoulders where there's tension. They can provide quite a lot of relief if you don't want to actually go and see somebody for a massage. They can be quite good as well as a foam roller. I've got a foam roller, I use that quite a lot, usually on my legs, but you can also use that on your back as well. But yeah, just be careful, you know, if you're going to do anything like that, like I always say, definitely check with your doctor and make sure, or physiotherapist, and make sure that, you know, what you're doing is actually helping and not making things worse. So like I said at the start of the video, I think that I'm quite lucky in the sense that I don't get, at the moment anyway, debilitating pain which stops me from living my life. I do have pain pretty much every day, but I think because I've just got used to it, because it's always there, I use the techniques that I've talked about in this video to help me keep it at bay so that I can carry on with my life. If it's a particular bad pain day, which like I say I do get if I do too much, or I do something to aggravate a muscle or something like that, then yes, I will get pain that stops me from doing things. And on days like that, that's where I'd usually turn to the heat therapy, to self-massage, and I'd probably go and see my physio and get some specific help as well if it's something that's, you know, very uncomfortable. I also will take painkillers as well, but very rarely. I try not to take them every day, but things like anti-inflammatories help. I'd say if you're getting really bad pain and it's affecting your everyday life and you can't live your life like you want to, then it's definitely worth talking to your doctor to seeing if they can help with pain medication and that sort of thing. But I think at the moment I'm quite lucky. I don't need pain medication every day, but if I do have it, it would be the anti-inflammatories, and that would be for a particularly bad pain day. Generally though, I find, through keeping active and as strong as possible, the scoliosis pain doesn't take over my life, and I can still do as much as I can and everything that I want to do. Thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to subscribe or check out my blog, which is livewithscoliosis.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. If you have scoliosis, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts about your own scoliosis pain and how you manage day to day. What tips do you use to help deal with your pain and relieve your pain? Let me know in the comments below. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time.